pylons, which I didn't know was a thing. But as we cover groups and things that are actually happening within the Scottish Parliament, we're here with, what's your name, sir?
My name's Vince Taylor from Angus Pylon Action Group.
And you might want to fill us all in, Angus, because I don't think any of us know what this is about. So maybe just explain what the monster pylons are.
Well, this is a proposal by SSEN to install a 66-mile line from Kintore down to Teeling, and it consists of approximately 350 monster pylons. The average height is 57 metres, but some of them will be 70 metres tall, and it's going to decimate the northeast of Scotland. It's going to ruin prime agricultural land. It's going to put people out of business, as in the farmers. It's going to ruin the tourist industry. It's going to virtually every factor of life in the northeast and east of Scotland, it will ruin. And it's all in the name of supposed net zero, but net zero cannot be achieved the way that the government are going. And we keep getting the runaround. We've just heard from the Scottish government that it's the UK government's fault, and then the UK government will say, oh, we need to talk to the Scottish government. But we're here today to protest against all this and to get the politicians, some of them are complicit in this destruction, to get them to sit up and take notice.
Is these pylons for the electricity from the offshore wind farm, or the wind farms, or where's it coming from and to?
It is coming from the offshore wind farms, some onshore wind farms, but it is not for our benefit. It is going down south and further afield. So we're not even getting the benefit of the destruction of our land. And we keep getting told it will result in cheaper electricity. No, it won't. Nobody has actually yet to tell us how we're going to get cheaper electricity. But we are all the bill payers for this project, but we're getting no say whatsoever in how it is achieved.
And I think the SNP sold off to preferred bidders areas of offshore wind rather than actually putting it on the open market for competing bids. They actually limited the offers and of the actual bids for the offshore wind and electricity generation. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. They sold off 5 times more than is required, and it is now a race to the bottom. And this energy is being transmitted from offshore, as you correctly say. Some of the onshore wind farms, we believe, are connecting to this, but there's also solar wind farms, there's battery energy storage systems, and this is going to take up thousands of acres of our prime agricultural land. So when you want to go to the supermarket for food, it might not come from our area. If you want to go on holiday in Scotland, you're going to end up seeing monster pylons and wind turbines and solar farms. So it's going to sell off our country to the highest bidder.
Well, it's not even the highest bidder, because I think it's actually capped bids of it rather than on the open market. And also, it's not really what a Scottish National Party would do. They would either set up this electricity service internally and reduce people in Scotland and Britain's electricity. This just seems like it's a big blot in the landscape for foreign powers to come in and use the electricity that's generated in Scotland. Would that be correct?
Well, when I say the highest bidder, we're talking about SSEN, Scottish Power, all the wind farm developers. They're all making profit, and where does that profit go? It goes abroad to the investors, to the stakeholders. You'd like to think the SNP would look after the people in Scotland, but that's not the case. We are not being listened to because we don't have the millions that these developers have, but we are the ultimate bill payer for this project. You, me, everybody that consumes electricity in Scotland and the rest of the UK, we are the bill payers, but yet this is being forced upon us in a non-democratic way.
And how would what would be the preferred democratic process for this to happen in Angus?
We would like the ministers to actually sit down and listen to us not just listen to the developers, because of course they're going to put their spin on it, but to actually sit down and listen to us and to have a conversation with us, and we can give them our point of view, because we've just heard Gillian Martin saying that, oh yes, she's listening. Sorry, not to us, she's not.
Yeah, well, and what would you? Is there anything you'd like to say to the people? Is there any information that you can partake that people like myself and other people might not know about, Angus? Is there anything you want to illuminate us with?
Yes, Angus is a beautiful area that has lots and lots of industries, and they're all going to be ruined. And you might think, no, it doesn't affect us. Well, it will affect you when you want to put food on your table, because no farms is no food, and they're now sacrificing food security for energy security. When you want to get some salmon, where's that going to come from? Because they're going to ruin the salmon industry. When you want to look at the potatoes on your plate, where's that coming from? Because they could end up ruining the potato industry. When you want to go on holiday in Scotland, where are you going to see the beautiful scenery, the beautiful countryside?
It's a 70-foot pylon on it.
70-metre pylon.
Oh, 70 metre, wow.
70 metres.
Wow.
Yes, if you go along and have a look at the Scott Monument, the average height of the pylons is the same height as the Scott Monument.
Wow.
So you imagine 350 Scott Monuments down the east coast of Scotland.
Wow.
And this is only the first of the lines. There are other lines proposed as a follow-on, but they're trying to keep it quiet so that nobody will find out.
Well, people are now going to find out because everybody watches the Guerilla TV channel now, Angus, and we are the leading lights in bringing these individuals, especially the Greens. I know you're talking a lot about the Greens and their dough-ball ideas that the Greens have got. I've been the kingmakers in the Scottish Parliament. You might not want to say that, but I can certainly say that.
We're a non-political organisation, and we've never promoted one political party above the other. However, I can say that some political parties have been very, very unsupportive, and I couldn't possibly comment, but you've just mentioned them a minute ago.
Well, we already know this, and the reason is that the party is full of donuts and dough balls. So we already know that, and a lot of them are from Glasgow, and we already know that they're donuts and dough balls. So you don't have to comment. We already know that. So they're like, it's like the Village Idiot Party. I know you've not said that, and I know you're not political, but we are saying that the Wokey Wefters. That's right, mate. It's the Wokey Wefter Party. So Angus, what should we do?
Let people know. Let your politicians know that you're not happy with the destruction of our country, because if you don't and you keep quiet, they will presume that you're happy with it, and you need to stand up and say, no, we don't want our country destroyed for the benefit
of the Wokey Wefters. The Wokey Wefters. Angus, listen, if this is your first time in doing this, you've been terrific.
Thank you.
You're absolutely great on the Guerilla TV channel. Welcome, and you certainly put your point across very well there, Angus.
Thank you.
And thanks very much for coming on and explaining yourself. My baby
welcome.
Gorillas, I'll get back to you in 5 minutes.